Hello everyone and welcome to the Monday Live Angel Message with me, Rachel Scoltock, Angel Medium, Intuitive Energy Therapist and an author. So every week I come here and I give you uplifting, inspirational and accurate messages from your angels to help you to travel through the week ahead, to understand the energy and the theme of the energy this week, and to get some guidance so that you know exactly what to do and what to expect and how to connect with your higher self, raise your vibration all of this week. Keep your energy high, keep your connection with your angels strong, and tune in to your own intuition, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? I'm not just doing this for you, that you are hopefully learning and gaining some stronger connection with your angels and your intuition as well. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Natalie. Nice to see you there. So today I've already pulled one card for you, just asking the angels what it is that they exactly wanted you to know this week. And this card comes from Archangel Gabriel, and this is from the Ask the Angels deck from the Blue Angel Publishing Company. And this is the angel of communication, and this card is all about communication. So this isn't just about your communication as in what you say to others, although the theme is that you need to keep your words and your thoughts loving, in a loving vibration this week. People might be more sensitive than usual. You might be more sensitive than usual. So really look out and try to contribute a higher vibration into the world by watching what you think, speak, and write. Keeping the words that you think and speak and write around towards love rather than fear and ego. So fear would say, look out, there's danger, I hope nothing bad happens, thinking the worst, trying to hook people in to drama or conflict, or people trying to hook you in and gossip. Whereas the angels are asking that you keep your own vibe high by speaking, thinking, and writing words of love and connection. And that's going to really change your week. That's really going to shift you to a higher vibration, and that's going to help you to overcome any of those little obstacles and challenges that can come along. So this isn't to say that if you need to avoid something, you don't avoid it, right? You've got to tell the truth to yourself, right? This feels good, I'm going to do this. This doesn't feel so good. But it's about how you're describing it and what vibration you're sharing out into the world. What I'm hearing is messages of love. So lots of people ask me all the time, how can I get more messages and synchronicity from my angels? How can I get louder intuition? How can I trust my intuition? And that's all about raising your vibration. So if you are keeping your own vibration low by thinking about worst case scenarios, sharing and describing negative events and situations, and obsessing into that vibration, that vibration can keep you held there for quite some time. Drama, past experiences of pain, fear, anger, resentment, complaining, gossiping. All of those things are low vibrational energies, and we see them and we connect with them a lot. They're out there, but we don't have to share that vibration. And so if you want to consciously lift your own vibration and lift your own awareness, it's all about surrounding yourself with love. And you see your throat chakra, which actually came up in yesterday's Instagram and Facebook reading. Your throat chakra is all about, it's the energy that you share with the world. It's the vibration that comes up and out of you. So you have a unique frequency with your voice. Even though you might sound like your mum or your dad or your sister or your brother, you've still got your own unique inflection in the way that you speak. And so that vibration is what goes out from you into the universe. So if you're asking for something, angels, please help me to manifest, please bring me, you want to say it aloud, and then surround your whole description of that, but also your whole day with love, because you don't want to suddenly put your prayer out there, see it soaring off to the light on the wings of the angels, and then bring it down with complaints and worries and negativity, right? And your body will tell you when you're in a low vibration. You'll have, knots in your stomach, you'll have pain, you'll have a heaviness, a tiredness, a fatigue that isn't related to anything else, because your thoughts and what you're expressing is, or what you're surrounding yourself in, is bringing you down. So Archangel Gabrielle is actually here to help you with this. And you can call on Gabrielle. You can just ask for her presence to be with you. Some people describe a Gabrielle as a male, sometimes as a female. And I think that's because there's no gender in the angelic realm. But Gabrielle is very much associated with nurturing and looking after mothers and pregnancy and things like that. So she can be associated with the feminine, divine feminine. So call on Gabrielle to help you. If you're having trouble shifting some of those heavy thoughts, if your ego's got you dug into something, ask for Gabrielle to help you. And also, if you are writing, whether it's an email to someone that's important, or a new book you're scribing, or advertising for your business, call in Archangel Gabrielle to lift the vibration of your words and to help you to channel the right words, those which will bring you the highest outcome, the highest good. We've always got to remember and associate that what we express in the world is what people get as us, from us. And if you're not expressing what you really believe in, what's true for you, what your values are, what you want to create in the world, not just for yourself but for others, and you're coming from a place of, I can only get there when I get past all of these worries and complaints that I have, then you're holding yourself back, you're keeping yourself stuck, because the ego always pushes everything that you want into the future. So have you noticed you might want to purchase something, or try something new, or do a course, or go on holiday, and ego will say, do it next year. Now's not the right time. Do it when you've got a bit more money. Do it when you've learned a bit more. Do it when the children have left school. And then when that time comes, it will push it into the future again, because your ego doesn't live in the present moment. And your ego is all about limitation, the limitations around you, and limitations in the universe and in the world that you live in. So there's not enough. I'm not enough. There's not enough money, there's not enough time, not enough energy, not enough of anything. So that's why it always pushes everything into the future. But it's the tomorrow never comes feeling, because you're always pushing everything that you want to do, that you want to feel, experience. And those intuitive soul messages that rise up in you, and they go, oh, I'd really like to do that. I think I'm going to do it. And then the ego, that's why we call it second guessing. The ego will come in and say, no, you can't. Not this year. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough. It can't happen. And comes up with all the reasons and the excuses why you can't have what you want. Whereas if you just stayed in that channel of soul, which is your angels, your connection to source, your intuition, it's all the same thing. The angels use your intuition to communicate with you. That then will keep your vibration high, and it will find a way to create what it is that you want. Maybe you've got the money already sitting there, but you're afraid of a rainy day, so you're not spending it. So you're keeping it there in fear. There's nothing wrong with having savings, right? I'm a big fan of that. But when you hold yourself back and say, I can't have something until the future because this is sitting there waiting for something bad to happen, what are you choosing? Are you choosing love or fear? Because what I found has happened, and I shared this with somebody last week, that when I stretch myself and I go, right, oh, that feels a bit uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it because my intuition, everything is wanting me to do it. That money or abundance or time or whatever it is that I think might not be there starts to flow in even more strongly, because you are connected with source, which is the divine and infinite source of abundance of everything that you need. And that only lives in the present moment. It doesn't live in the future, because the future isn't written yet. You're writing it with your thoughts and feelings. And it doesn't live in the past, because the past is finished. There's no energy there. It's null and void. It's not that your memories have no energy. They have the energy that you give them, whether it's love or fear, right? But the energy of trying to go back into the past feels funny, because there is actually no energy there. All of the power and energy and source and your angels and your intuition, everything lives in this moment, right here and now, which is where you need to be living. So if you're putting off something You're procrastinating. You're pushing it into the future. Sit down, ask the angels to help you to get into the present moment. Clear the fear, disengage your ego, and come back into, all right, I'm open to the possibilities of how this can happen. And you just wait. The inspiration, the guidance will come for you as to how you can make whatever it is that happened. But if you've got an ego-based mind and you're driven by that negativity, then you are allowing ego to control you. And so you won't even allow yourself to open enough to let the divine thoughts, inspiration, and truth come in for you. So you will always say, I'm stuck, I can't move, I can't have what I want, right? There's not enough clients for me. There's not enough customers. There's not enough jobs out there that I like. There isn't enough partners that are potentially good for me. There isn't enough money for me to do all the things that I love to do. But if you can come into the moment and work with your angels and really awaken your intuition, let that be the ruler, the soul guide, be the ruler of your mindset instead of the ego, the fear mind, the procrastinator. You will change your life. You will transform. Everything will open up for you. Okay? So I love it when the angels come through with these messages. We want to be working with our higher selves. If you're working with your higher self, you start to feel yourself rising. You lift up above all of that drama and anxiety. Like, do you feel controlled by anxiety? Do you second guess and doubt everything? Do you worry, like, am I ever going to get what I want? Do I have to just water down my dreams? Do you feel like there's not enough? I've never got enough. Then doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you, but it just means that ego has been allowed to take over your mind, and it will trick you by making you think that it's logical. So you're like, okay, I want to spend X amount and there's only X amount in my account. How can I do that? Or if I spend X amount, I'll have nothing forever and ever. And it's a sort of logic, but it's not a real logic because you're limiting yourself and you're limiting the universe. Whereas if you open your eyes, you'll start to shift. So a good example of that was, I'm reminded that years ago when I moved to this little beach town that I'm in right now, I was on 25 acres. I had 2 dogs and lots of animals. And someone told me, you'll never get a rental in that beach town if you've got dogs. There's no rentals with dogs. That's what I was told by a real estate agent, and other people reiterated that. So I sort of felt depressed. I was like, I really want to live there, but every time I look on the internet, there are no houses that allow dogs. And that belief became the truth for me. And then one day I woke up and I thought, why am I believing that as truth? I know that the universe is unlimited. I know I am unlimited. Of course, there are houses that will be for rent that will allow me to have 2 dogs. So I started to say there are plenty of houses to rent that in my perfect area, because I had a very specific area that I wanted to live in, that will let me have dogs. And the next day I opened the internet and there was a house for the price I wanted, with everything else in it that I wanted, on the street that I wanted to live on, that said dogs allowed. And I rented it and moved in within 3 weeks. So when you change your beliefs from ego to higher self, and you recognize the unlimited nature of the universe, what you want appears in front of you. But you can't get it. You can't even get to it. Maybe you can't even see it until you change that belief. So I hope this is helpful for you, because I feel like, current situations around the world, the fear that is going on at the moment, it's too easy to tap into that mass consciousness fear. The fears that are coming from how governments are behaving. They talk about limitation and lack and ego all the time. They're just coming from ego because they know that triggers you and your anxiety, and that makes you fearful, and that makes you out of your power, and that makes you believe them. And you're no longer in your higher self, and you've lost your connection with the unlimited universe. So it's too easy right now to tap into all of that. And we've got, Mercury retrograde and all that stuff going on as well, which isn't to blame, but it just makes the energy a little bit more intense, right? So let me pull you to actually 3 more cards for the week ahead, and then I will leave you to it. I'm very conscious that sometimes I talk a lot. But it's the angels working with me. So I work with Archangel Michael, and one of the things that I do every day is I do reading for myself, but I also do reading for other people because I have lots of clients that need my guidance, the guidance of the angels. Here we go. And whenever I'm reading for a client, I am steering their energy towards that higher self, raising their vibration, getting away from ego and into the unlimited universe instead of the limitation of ego fear. So there's two things that happen. You get a reading, but you also get a vibration lift at the same time. Okay, so this is beautiful. I love this. This is the first card. This is from the John Holland Psychic Tarot deck. And this shows a like a wise man or a spiritual follower or a druid. And he's standing there with the Book of Wisdom. And there's so much light coming from this book. It's all about the knowledge of the universe, the divine knowledge, the divine wisdom. And he's sending light out from himself. And what I'm seeing in the background is this little gathering of people. And that feels like it's shaded. It feels like there's scarcity or something going on there. So the connection to the source, connection to the divine, which opens and awakens your own inner wisdom, is happening for you. And you need to make a decision. Am I going to walk this way or am I going to walk that way? Because there's plenty of people that awaken to the spiritual realm and they understand themselves as a spiritual being and they get into it. But then they don't act from that place. Their courage fails them because they've got to transmute all of their fears into that courage. They've got to make a change. So this is an opportunity this week for you to make a change and to make your choices from the light and from the love and from connecting to source and your angels rather than from your lower self and your ego. So this number 5 is all about a change, and it's about getting your guidance, really tuning into what feels good and right for you. There is where you will find the answers. Don't necessarily canvas. You know how sometimes we want to know what to do and we ask a lot of people. You might ask your friends, your parents, your siblings, your work colleagues, and you're trying to get an answer. And every time you get answers from people like that, you might get a bit of their fear and a bit of their ego and their limitation because everyone's got their own perspective on the world. So this one is about tuning in to connecting into that light through a trustworthy channel and disconnecting from the fear and scarcity. Okay, there's some healing for you to do this week too. This is, look at this, it's beautiful. So if we don't look at the words and we just look at the angel, it's the number 3, so it's the divine feminine. It's about connecting with your soul, right? Heaven and earth, as above, so below. What some people call the Holy Trinity. So it's like recognizing that you're not alone and that you need to connect up your energy. And she's standing in prayer. She's standing there in protection. Now, the words on the card are heartache and loss. And this is it's a very emotional card. But this is really about letting you know that there are some past experiences that have perhaps been holding you back. And you might not be experiencing them as heavy grief at this moment. You might. But they might just have been influencing the way you're thinking, where you started to, maybe your self-esteem has been lowered, or you started to think of yourself as limited, or you started to hold yourself back in some way. And the angels are saying it's time to let this go. It's time to have a really good energy cleanse and to just ask your angels to take care of it. Your loved ones are on the other side. Your angels are not your loved ones. Your angels are celestial beings, but your loved ones who have crossed over, whether they're pets or people, they're there helping you, and they're trying to communicate with you too. They're trying to send you messages of encouragement and to remind you to live your life to the full and to live in the moment and to not push everything out into the future or to live in the past where the pain is. You can do it. You can let this pain go. It's about self-forgiveness. It's about gathering up your power and saying, you know, life doesn't go on forever, and I'm no longer going to be defined or pinned down by things that have happened to me in the past. So Energetically, it's a little bit of heaviness around your heart. And you can do it. You can clear this. You can work through it. Make the decision. Know that if you need to go and get healing, the angels will support you. They'll help you find the money for that. They'll guide you forward. They will help you choose the right person to do the healing with you. If you're worried about, if I let this go, maybe I'll get hurt again. Well, you're more likely to be hurt again if you hold on to it, because that's holding you in a low vibration of sadness and grief and anger and frustration or whatever it is. And that's a vibration where not only you don't necessarily meet the same thing over and over again, but you're meeting it again in your consciousness again and again. You're holding yourself in a low vibration. And here we have a beautiful new beginning. Now, how is this? We've gone through the change, connecting to a higher wisdom. When you're in negativity, when you're in pain, when you're in anxiety, when you're in worry, those emotions keep you out of your wisdom. You cannot access your intuition and your intelligence and even the lessons that you've learned already this lifetime if you are stuck in all of that stuff, because that stuff is keeping you in your back brain. It's keeping you in emotions, and it's chewing up time and energy. It drains you, because that's the purpose of it, right? If you haven't healed it, it's going to keep you in that sort of like stuck in the mud feeling. But you can't get to your wisdom. So they're saying, get into your wisdom. It's time. Here we have love begins. A brand new beginning. Look how fresh and clear that card, that image is on the card. Look at the water being poured in. It's like there's new energy, there's new abundance coming in for you. But this is the work that you have to do first. So there's like a purification going on for you at the moment. And it's like your angels are like a best friend, coach, who's a little bit blunt. They're saying, come on, time to bring it together. And if bringing it together means that you start your healing journey, you find a good therapist, you find a good healer, someone with integrity that's going to take you through that journey, then do it now, because you can't afford to waste any more time sitting back in that negativity and procrastinating. And if it means, okay, I'm going to start my business, I'm going to launch it, or I'm going to clear this heaviness and just put my energy into building something new instead of the old, then that's what you need to do. Okay. Are there any questions before I finish up for today? Hey, Jen. Hey, Dee. Yeah, that outcome card is awesome, isn't it? So I get the sense really with this card, the heartache and loss is a bit distracting. I really get the sense there's anxiety going on is a big thing. I feel like anxiety is going on, and it's your ego chattering about what could go wrong, what the problem is, or what possible problems. So it's, clear that, release that, get into your higher self. So I'm going to be doing a course in April about awakening your intuition. So I'll be launching that soon. And it's going to be with a difference. I'm going to be not only teaching you, but I'm going to be raising your vibration at the same time and working on you and healing you. But also, I want to let you know that the early bird is now switched over for Angels at Uluru. And so that was the super early bird. There is a second early bird, which you still save money and you still get a really good deal on the payment plan. There's still time to do the payment plan because we've got about 6 months before we go. So you can be paying it off with a couple of $100s a week. And but what's super important about Angels at Uluru, it is, it's an amazing 3 days like no other. Everyone that comes says that it changed their life. It's all about your spiritual awakening. It's about connecting you deeply with your angels. It's about getting you in contact with your soul. And the environment, as well as the teachings, as well as the meditational journeys that we do, and we're going to connect with elders from the local people. Like, you have no idea, this is an uninterrupted culture for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the last remaining on earth, right? These people speak their own language. They do their spiritual practices. They call in, they manifest. They do the things that they've been doing for tens of thousands of years. And you're going to get a chance to spend some time with some of these people, these women, and learn from them. So that's Angels at Uluru. So if you want to, or you're interested, you feel called to that, please send me a message. We can have a messenger chat, or we can do a phone call, and you can just ask all about it. But Flights are on sale right now for Uluru. It's direct flights from major cities. So it's a really good time to book if you're interested in that. And also don't forget my abundance webinar, which is on the 27th of March, 26th in the Northern Hemisphere. And that's coming up soon. I'll put a link in so you can find it. All right, I'm sending you lots of love. And yes, like a baptism. I'll see you next week. Angel blessings. If you want to sign up to get these messages in your inbox, go to my website and there's a little pop-up box. You can put your email in and you'll get these every week. Or if you want to book a reading with me, I'm definitely available. I'll see you soon.